From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica, this is Afternoons LALATE.
It's a big afternoon with big surprises, and the surprises started minutes ago as LALATE has uncovered details of a new press campaign by the President of the United States. He will be rolling out a massive package across the country of a media blitz in which he says that he's delivering you exactly what he promised in his stimulus package. The question is whether he is or isn't. As millions of Americans wait for their stimulus check to land in their bank account, I have all the breaking developments happening right now as Afternoons LA starts right this moment. Unite the Country, a pro-Joe Biden super PAC, will be launching a massive TV ad campaign starting next week in the states of Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Arizona, and Georgia, talking about your third stimulus check package. The message will state the following. Joe Biden kept his word and gave you exactly what the president promised to do. But did he or did he not? It's a big, shocking development, as last night the President of the United States appeared on primetime news and did not talk about your third stimulus check package, the one that gave you a $14 stimulus check, not $2,000, that didn't give you FPUC retro, that didn't give you SS200, that didn't give you no less than probably a half a dozen things that he promised to deliver to you, not only on the campaign trail, but after he was elected as president. And the message his super PAC wants to deliver to you next week is that the stimulus package is exactly what he promised to you on the campaign trail. I want to hear your comments right away. Let me read to you exactly what the campaign ad spots will say. Joe Biden kept his word, and that's exactly what your president should do. The campaign spots will talk and refer to the stimulus package specifically. And the campaign spots will air in the states of Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, and Georgia. The purpose of the campaign spots are for the midterm elections. The campaign spots are said to cost multi-millions of dollars. And again, the message is that the president's $1.9 trillion stimulus package that was signed into law yesterday is exactly the provisions he promised while on the campaign trail. Drop in the comments right now what you think about this messaging. I certainly have a couple comments myself. I'm really surprised after a night in which we didn't see a lot of victory laps from the president, as one would say, about stimulus. And now we see not only victory laps, but, as some may say, false narratives. Thank you for the super chat from Alicia. And thank you, Doris, for becoming a Purple Hawk. Let me tell you where we are. The great news, if you're just joining me on an Afternoons of LA, is that several viewers have now gotten their $1,400 third stimulus check. Yes, no less than about 3 viewers so far have now confirmed they have already received their $1,400 third stimulus check. Congratulations to those individuals. If you did not hear the news throughout the day on this channel, viewers who are set up for electronic receipt will start receiving the $1,400 stimulus check today. Of course, yesterday, I was the only one anywhere, whether it's broadcast media, print media, or anywhere else, telling you that viewers would receive it today, not tomorrow. Why did I say that? Because the president's press secretary said the stimulus checks will start arriving this weekend. If you understand how bank routings work, They don't send out money starting on a Saturday. They send it on a Friday to receive it on a Saturday. And based upon the second stimulus, some viewers actually got it the same day it was sent out on a weekday, meaning it was sent out on Monday. They got it that afternoon of a Monday. Hence, yesterday I told you that some viewers would start to receive the $14 stimulus check today, and that it would have gone out today. And that's exactly what has happened. Now, less than 3 viewers have already confirmed in comments to live broadcast today that they have already received the stimulus check. 2 of them said they had received it after noontime, around noontime or later, their local time. Great news across the board. More of you will receive the stimulus checks tomorrow because some banks require an overnight clearing of the money before they post it to the account. It all depends on how banks process this. Really surprising news. But let's cut back to this developing detail. I'm really shocked by this. This is a big shocker. And this big shocker is happening right now. The shocker comes from the President of the United States, who last night addressed the country and didn't talk about the third stimulus package, but now his super PAC will, in the states of Michigan, Arizona, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, state that the third stimulus package is exactly what he promised for you while on the campaign trail. Unite the country, the super PAC, will state the following in the political ad. Joe Biden kept his word, and that's exactly what your president should do. Interesting. What do you think? Do you think the $14 stimulus check is exactly as promised? Do you think the FPUC is exactly as promised? Do you think the SSI and SSDI is exactly as promised? Let me recap for you exactly what was promised and what wasn't delivered. The president promised hazard pay. Wasn't delivered. It was promised on the campaign trail and in writing during his transition papers. He promised FPUC at $600 a week and retro. He not only didn't deliver retro, he didn't even deliver $600 a week. He didn't even deliver $400 a week. He caved at one person's demand of $300 and went right to $300, but never even started at $600. He never included SSI, SSDI, let alone has ever even mentioned SSI, Social Security, and Railroad benefits. He also has not delivered other things, including, most notably, the stimulus check. In fact, AOC made a direct comment about this. If you recall back in January, actually, let's go back to December, the promise from Ossoff and Warnock and the president was that there would be a $1,400 plus $2,000 stimulus check, that there would be a brand new $2,000 stimulus check on top of the Cash Act $1,400 stimulus check. Moreover, the Cash Act was to pay adult dependents $3,200 this time around because they still have never got to that first and second stimulus check because they were excluded due to eligibility. So while campaigning for those Georgia seats, the promises were clear. $1,400 plus $2,000, $1,400 plus $3,200. And as January rolled around, Chuck Schumer was asked it, and he confirmed it again, because that was what his belief was and our belief was. Finally, AOC finally saw this bill and said famously, $1,400 is not $2,000. So did the president really keep his word as the commercial so claims? Joe Biden kept his word, and that's exactly what your president should do. Interesting. I would not have chosen that language for the political ad spot. I would have just said it's the relief that Americans need and move on. Needless to say, there we are. Politicians. There we are. But let's cut back to the incredible great news. The incredible great news is that this stimulus check is arriving very wonderfully, and just as wonderfully as the last stimulus check. I had told you over the last few months that the second stimulus check, about 100 viewers the first 24 hours got it by the end of that very first day. And that into the next day, which would then be the morning thereafter, that whole brand new day after it set out, that enormous number of viewers had gotten it, and that 2 days thereafter, virtually most of the electronic recipients of this channel had received the stimulus check. we're off to great news already because in the videos throughout the day, we have now seen at least 3 viewers while I'm live on air. Of course, there's comments to the video once it archives it to the site. Meaning, once the video is posted to the site, people start to post comments below the video. But in the live chat of the video, we've now had at least 3 viewers who have said they have already received the $14 stimulus check. Great news. If you are an electronic recipient, this will be you. Who are those people? First, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security or Railroad benefits, or receive anything electronically every month, and receive your benefits electronically every month, this is you. The next group, people who receive the first and second stimulus check electronically. The third group are people who gave IRS their electronic information in a 2020 tax return. All great news. Now, here's one thing. I don't like to deal with negativity, as you know, and while the opening of this video, which talked about a strange political choice of words for a political ad, I do have another message to deliver to you. I've already seen a few comments in the chat and posted to the website where people have gone to their tax preparers and gotten crazy information. I got to tell you, I'm not here to train every tax preparer. I'm not a tax preparer myself. I don't attest to be a tax preparer, but I'm not here to train tax preparers. So much like with Purple, where people said, I called up the state, there's no rent assistance. Or I called up and there's no utility assistance in the state of Kentucky. And I said, yeah, there is. Well, no, I can't find it. It's starting already with the tax preparers. Please do not bring to the channel whatever craziness your tax preparer has told you. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm not here to train your tax preparers. And if they don't know where things are, get another tax preparer. That's all I gotta say about that. I can only do so much in a given day. And trust me, there are bad tax preparers out there as well. So we are it's starting. Whether it's tracking the check or tax preparers who don't know what's going on, it's just, there's always something delicious out there. The other details that are happening across the board is that some people are still already calling people on the phone. You may love to call people on the phone, but you can't call people on the phone for your stimulus. It doesn't work. People are calling up IRS, they're calling up their bank. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't work that way. Let me cut back to, I can only say it so many times. But, going to the casino and shouting in the front lawn, where are the cows? Where's the stimulus? That don't work either. The Dow ended up 293 points for the day. The Nasdaq is down 78 points. The Treasuries really stayed high. The Treasuries stayed high at about a 1.61 throughout today. The U.S. has finally passed the 100 million COVID vaccine doses administered, and now 13% of U.S. adults are vaccinated, says a new report issued just minutes ago. Minutes ago, the CDC announced that the United States has now finally passed 100 million doses vaccinations across the country, and that it's now at 13% of the U.S. population of adults. How about certain segments? We now know that 32% of 65 and years and older are vaccinated. That's not particularly a great number. I'm surprised that number is so low. 32% of seniors over 65 are vaccinated. Really interesting. Really a day where there's a lot of things happening. One of the things I love to do is always see people's reactions to things. So let me see some of the comments in the chat right now. Did anyone on SSI get their stimulus check yet? I didn't ask that of people. I could have asked that question. I pray it doesn't take another month to receive my stimulus check. Well, for electronic receipt, it won't. That's a great question. We have no information yet about the paper check, so that's a great question. There is Bruce, there's Matthew, and there's Angela, and there's Debbie. They already got theirs. There's Bonnie, and there's Chrissy. It depends on how fast your bank processes. It's just yes. That's very well said. That is very well said. one of the things you got to understand is that every bank is different. Every clearinghouse is different. And I'm already seeing a very good question. So let me answer that question. One of the viewers said, when do people on this get the stimulus check? It's a great question. In April of last year, no, May of last year, when this channel had 100 viewers, I had a video basically about that subject matter. It went viral. It went to 4 million views. The IRS does not send stimulus checks to different walks of life. And that was basically what that video was about. And a viewer just asked that question. The viewer's question was, when do people on SSI, when do their checks go out? That's not how IRS sends out checks. In the second stimulus, I got a similar question. When do people in my state get their stimulus checks to go out? IRS doesn't send out stimulus checks based upon whether you're on benefits or alphabetically or based upon what state you're in or based upon your age or based upon any other factor like that. I get this question quite often. I always forget that I get the question. It's a great question. But what's important to understand is that stimulus, whether it's a stimulus check or anything else, is not sent out based upon any of those factors. It's not sent out on a Friday because you're 60, or Thursday because you're 40, or Wednesday because you're on SSI, or Monday because you're a veteran. It's not done that way. It's just sent out push. It's like tipping cows. It's like, imagine a lot of cows and you're just like, push. That's how it's done. The way you receive it is not a result of who you are either. So if you're on Social Security or you're a veteran or you're in Alaska or you're in Palm Beach, it's not a factor of when you receive it either. The only thing that's a factor of when you receive it is the bank you do business with or the tax preparing company. If you receive it through the tax preparing company, that is the only factor that determines how fast you receive it. Why? As one viewer said very smartly, some banks will take a day to process it. Some may hold the funds for 24 hours before clearing it. They may show it pending and then not clear it. Other banks will immediately clear it the next morning. So that's the factor of how your bank operates, not you. Again, to recap, who you are, what you look like, what's going on in your life, how rich you are, how poor you are, has nothing to do about when you actually physically have your stimulus check sent out. It never was, and it never is. So that's a great question. Let me see if there's any other. That was just a superb question. I always forget to cover that. I'm having a baby. Push. When will the checks be sent out? They already have been sent out. Electronic receipt, they've already been sent out. They've already been sent out, and 3 viewers already have it. Congratulations to them. There's no rhyme or reason how they sent out stimulus checks. That is that's a great way of saying it. But for purpose of electronic, it is a push. Now, you and I know, none of us are sitting there looking at the computer systems of IRS and looking and seeing, do they process 200 million requests a minute, or do they do it for 20 minutes and then the computer needs to take a breath? None of us are there watching their computers. So these things take a little while. Now, some people are dropping comments about how long a prior stimulus check physically took to receive. We're not talking about that situation this weekend. What we're talking about today and tomorrow are electronic receipts of the stimulus check. Electronic only. We're not talking about paper, and we're not talking about debit card. So if you are not the electronic recipient of a stimulus check, this is not your situation. Moreover, one of the messages I made very clear over the last few months, and I'm making clear again today, is that a prior circumstance may not be indicative of this circumstance, for good and for bad. If you got the first and second, totally fine. This one may go off the rails. Yeah. If you got the first and second badly, this one may go very smoothly. We've seen that a lot. We saw that with second stimulus, where for reasons we don't know, some people got second stimulus not as smoothly as first stimulus, and we've also seen the reverse. But the good news is that the third stimulus check has already gone out, and that viewers are already reporting having received it electronically. The receipt of it electronically started today and will start tomorrow. Let me answer some other questions. Is SSI getting stimulus sent the same way? So that's a great question. Let me stop the question really at the third sentence. Is SSI getting stimulus the same way as we got the last one? So for purposes of beneficiaries on SSI and SSDI, if you're not a dependent, it will come the way your monthly benefits are paid. That's also a really great question. So if you get your monthly benefits on a card or a direct express, it's going to come that way as well. Very, very good. $5,600 for stimulus. Any more information about the child care tax credit? The $5,600 for children. That's a peculiar number. I don't know what 5,600 is. There's $5,000 for a child who is 5 to newborn. But I'm not sure what 5,600 is. That's a peculiar number. There is $3,600. Maybe it was a mistype because chats go very fast. Their stimulus check is comprised of two items. The stimulus check of $1,400, which comes with yours, and then the child care tax credit, which starts in the month of July, $300 a month for 12 months. If the child is 6 to 17, that's $250 a month starting in the month of July. It's a great question there as well. It usually takes 3 days on SSI. Someone says, nothing is really a benchmark for any of these things. You can't really say one is the same thing as another. Everything just sort of changes. Is SSI getting it the first? I just answered that question. What about other things not happening? So if you have been, I don't know, watching or reading somewhere else, and people have sold you snake oil over the last 3 months, and you found me today, thank you for finding me. Everything they have sold you as snake oil is not happening. It's not happening. And they promised you a lot, and they were not updating you and telling you it wasn't in the bill. In January this year, the viewers of this channel got an advanced copy of what eventually became the law yesterday. Since January, you've had details of what's in the bill. From that draft, only 2 or 3 items fell off, and that was like the $3,200 adult dependent check and one other thing. And then only 1 or 2 items got revised to the Senate. So if you had been somewhere else hearing things you're going to get, I'm sorry. But viewers of this channel since January have generally known what is in the third stimulus package, and that is what got to the finish line. The only 2 major changes from this, 3 major changes from the Senate, none of them really affect you because one is for very high, is for people who make more than $75,000. The second one is for student loan debt, which is still not a law. And the third one is the one that I talk about on this channel, which is that $10,200 of unemployment that is free from the year 2020. But those are great questions. What about Kentucky? So this is sort of like that other question. Is Kentucky getting a stimulus check faster than Alabama? Is Nebraska getting a stimulus check faster than San Francisco? No, that's not how they send it out. They just sort of send it out. It's not a geographical thing. That is not the first time I've heard that question. It's a great question. Stimulus checks are not sent out geographically, but and they're not based upon the alphabet, the letter last year. They're not sent out alphabet.
From LALATE headquarters in Santa Monica.
Either. I get that question as well.
This is Afternoons.
But across the land, there's always some confusion about things, including when I hit a button that I'm not supposed to hit. Many times I check my bank account. That's good. That's good. Yeah, someone wanted to know, I'm from Louisiana. When am I getting the stimulus check? Yeah, there's a memo at IRS that says every Louisiana stimulus check arrives on a Saturday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. No, it just doesn't. It doesn't work that way. If you're just joining me, let me tell you what the big recap is. I'm having some viewers ask me if there's some priority in which checks are sent out. Answer is no. Checks are not sent out alphabetically. They're not sent out geographically. They're not sent out by age. They're not sent out by benefits. They're not sent out based upon income. They're not sent out based upon how good your hairstyle is. They're not sent out based upon how often you go to the casino. They're not based upon whether you bought $12 ice cream in the last month. They're not based upon whether you know how to batter a lobster. They're just sort of sent out by a computer that doesn't know who you are. They only know you by numbers. So that computer says, push, push, sort of like giving birth. Just push. We're just pushing out the checks. And that computer doesn't know anything about you personally. So don't be offended that the computer did not push when it should have pushed. 3 viewers of this channel have already reported that the stimulus check has landed in their bank account. They actually see it and they see the funds. So congratulations to those viewers. The rest of you will receive it electronically throughout the day and tomorrow as well. Very incredible, exciting news. Let me see what other good questions, because we've had some very good questions. How quickly can they lick stamps? I love that. That's hysterical. When will we be receiving the $300 for each child under the age of 6? Starting in the month of July, provided IRS knows that child exists. So children 17 or younger, that check per month starts in the month of July. 5 to newborn, $300 a month. 17 to 6, $250 a month. Starting in the month of July, provided IRS knows the child exists. I just got eating some lobster. It was really good. Someone just said Purple Power should get their stimulus checks first. They should. Biden did not extend the eviction moratorium. Great question. The president has not touched yet the eviction moratorium or the mortgage forbearance. He has not touched them yet. Now remember, if you watched my recordings from last year, there are state and county eviction moratoriums and mortgage forbearance. There is federal ones. Even if the president doesn't do anything, you may have protection locally. But you need to stay with me because it may not get extended. We shall see. Let me tell you the big update if you're just joining me late in this broadcast. The big update I started this recording with is that the President of the United States' own super PAC called Unite the Country will be launching a 7-figure TV digital campaign starting next week in 4 states: Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Arizona, 5 states, and Georgia. The campaign is to brag about the $1,400 third stimulus package. What will the message say in the recording? Joe Biden kept his word, and that's exactly what a president should do. Drop in your comments if you think he kept his word on the stimulus check, the SSI $200 a month, the FPUC $600 a month, or even the innovation grant. Did he keep his word on the innovation grant? I mean, I'm still trying to find that innovation grant. What did he keep his word on? Which word? I mean, maybe it's just it kept his word on another word. But maybe the word has nothing to do with stimulus. I mean, maybe it's another word. I don't know what the word is. Kept his word on something. If you don't like the message of the campaign, then the person who's in charge of it, her name is Amanda Loveday. If you don't like the if you don't love the message, then the person who's behind the message is Amanda Loveday. So there you go. Take that for what it's worth. I can't make this stuff up. We're going into the bottom of the hour, and I'm going to have big updates for you. What's going on with the programming is right after this is Purple. I'll do Purple right after this for 30 minutes, which I've not done yet. And then I'll have 30 minutes in which I'll go over the entire third stimulus package from head to toe, left and right, and across the board. If you're just joining me, the big breaking developments is that several viewers, no less than 3, have already received their third stimulus check electronically. If you have not subscribed, today is the day to subscribe. We have covered everything and anything you can cover on this channel today. from political ads to Treasury yields to Selection Sunday. And we're far from over. We got 2 more recordings. Hit that subscribe button to like this video. And I'll see you as LATE Afternoons continues right after this.